Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Morion, and today I have a video of Fire Emblem Engage. If you follow me on my social media, you'll probably know that at first I wasn't excited about this game. It was like, I honestly didn't like how it looked. It's just, I don't know, it's not my thing. And I didn't get excited about it until probably the second trailer, when we got to see more of the characters that are available in the game. And more specifically, it's when I saw the characters from the Kingdom of Brodia. This one in particular. So I started to follow more closely, like, all the news. If you follow Fire Emblem, like the official Fire Emblem page on Twitter, they revealed more and more information pretty much every single day, so we get to see more of the names of the characters and a little bit of their personalities. And I found out that all the characters are named after something very specific. In this case, the characters from Brodia are named after gemstones. So I really found that very, very interesting, and I decided to investigate a little bit more and decided to make this video. So I'm gonna concentrate for now only on the characters of Brodia. I'm gonna talk a little bit about them, and I'm gonna explain where the names come from. Before we start, I just want to let you know that I am not a geologist or a gemologist, so this information that I'm about to tell you, it's what I learned when I took one class of geology in college. And of course, I did a little bit of research just to refresh everything. So if there's something wrong, please let me know in the comments below. With anything else to add, let's just get started, guys. According to the information that we have available, Brodia is known as the Kingdom of Might. It's a kingdom that values pride and strength, and it's located in the northwest region of the continent of Elias. If you look closely into the map of Elias, you'll see that there's an alpaca in the map that belongs to Brodia, so apparently that animal is quite common there. They're part of an alliance with Fierne and Solm, but apparently it took some time for them to join these alliance because of the beliefs the king has. Apparently they're always in some kind of conflict with the Kingdom of Elusia, who is also not part of these alliance that these other three kingdoms have. But we really don't know if there's like a specific reason as to why this is. The Brodian king, it's a Morion, and he is an ambitious man, and the reason why it took so long for Brodia to join in the alliance with Fierne, he has two children. The eldest is called Diamant, and the youngest is Alcryst. I tried to look for information about the name of the kingdom, but I honestly couldn't find anything other than the possibility of it being related to some myths of ancient Greece. But that's all I know. Like, I don't want to go too deep into that without actually knowing. Now let's go with the characters of Brodia. We're gonna start with Alcryst. Alcryst is the second prince of Brodia. He is the youngest brother of Diamant, and apparently he has a problem of self-esteem. He doesn't really believe in himself because he's been living in the shadow of his brother. And this is obviously not intentional, it's just that Diamant apparently is the perfect prince and the perfect son, and Alcryst doesn't really believe that he can do anything, and he even says to his brother in one of these conversations that was available through the Twitter account of Fire Emblem, that whenever people think about the Prince of Brodia, they never think about him. They always think about his older brother. Other than that, he is a very social young boy, and it's also said that he has the fortitude of a noble. His name is just Crystal. They just move the A and the L to the front. So it's probably the only character that doesn't really have a gemstone for a name, and that doesn't have a real name. But by definition, Crystal is a solid form of an object where its components are arranged into a specific structure to make it a crystal. We can identify crystals by its geometrical form and the flat faces that they have. Things like snowflakes are considered crystal, salt is considered crystal, diamonds are considered crystal, and the word crystal comes from the ancient Greek word for ice or icy cold frost, so it's pretty much, yes, ice. Moving on to the next character, and pretty much the reason why I'm making this video, we have a Diamant. Diamant is the first prince of Brodia. He's been studying and being educated to become a king. According to the information that we have available, he is kind of a serious man, and he also is considered to be very strong, not necessarily just physically, but he's the type of person that won't change his mind easily. Now, diamant is the French and German word for diamond, and his Japanese name, it's diamante, which is just the Spanish word for diamond as well. Now, diamonds are just the solid form of carbon, but in order to it to be like an actual diamond, the components of it need to be arranged into the structure that we talked at the beginning, the crystal structure. Diamonds are a 10 out of 10 in the most scale of hardness. Now, this scale does not necessarily mean that your diamond is not going to break. They're very resistant to scratches and some type of damage, but yeah, diamonds do break. Like, if you put a diamond underneath, I don't know, your car, it's probably gonna break. So, but yeah, they're very, very resistant to any type of abrasion, like, again, scratches, things like that. It's really hard for a diamond to get scratched. The name comes from the Greek word adamant, which means untamable or invincible. In modern English, this word means or is used to refer to a person that won't change their mind easily, which is according to the description that we have for diamond. Diamonds are normally clear, but they can also be found in yellow, pink, and blue. The Hope diamond is a blue diamond that's very popular because it's believed to be cursed. But there's also red diamonds. Those are like super rare and super expensive, and I think that's interesting that Diamond's color palette, it's completely red. So yeah, I think the name fits him perfectly fine. Now we're going to talk about two different characters because their names, they both mean quartz. Now, quartz is a silicate mineral and is the second most common mineral on the Earth's crust. There's a great variety of quartz, and some of them are considered gemstones, like for example amethyst. Amethyst is just purple quartz, and the other one is citrine, which is one of the characters that we're going to talk about. But first, let's go with Morion. Morion is father of Diamant and Alcryst. He is the king of Brodia. He is known to be a very ambitious man, and that's pretty much all we have. We don't really have a lot of information about him. He's not being presented by the official Fire Emblem page on Twitter. All we've seen of him, it's what we see on the trailers. His name comes from a variant of smoky quartz. Smoky quartz, it's normally kind of clear, but it has brownish and grayish tones to it. It's just like literally how the name is. It looks like there's smoke inside the quartz. Morion, on the other hand, it's way darker. It's a very dark shade of brown, and it almost looks black as well. So now in Spanish and I believe German as well, Morion is just the same thing as smoky quartz. So probably they just wanted the character to be more closely related to the smoky quartz than the actual variant of this one. The next one is Citrine. She is a retainer to Alcryst, and it's also his cousin. We don't really have a lot of information about her. It says that she is kind and that she is caring and that she likes to spoil people with her money. Like, she likes to buy things to others. Her name, Citrine, is another variant of quartz. This one, it's like the yellowish orange variant, and it's also very, very rare. This one and amethyst are part of the quartz that are considered to be gemstones. Now, its color, it's normally like pale yellow or brownish color, and since it's very rare, what they try to sell as citrine is actually not citrine. It's just heat-treated amethyst or smoky quartz. But there's actually a way to find the difference between a heat-treated amethyst or smoky quartz and an actual citrine. Cut citrine is also very similar to yellow topaz. In one way to tell the difference, it's because of the hardness. Citrine has a hardness of 7 and topaz has a hardness of 8. The name comes from the word Citrina, which I hope I'm saying right, I'm sorry, which just means yellow. Overall, quartz, it's a very resistant mineral. Like, again, it has a hardness of 7, and Morion and Citrine are variants of the quartz, so they're family, which connects to the fact that Citrine is the cousin of Diamant and Alcryst, which means she's the niece of Morion. And that's all for the royals. Now we're gonna move on to the retainers of the royals. First, we have Amber. He is a retainer to Diamant. According to his information, it says that he is a very innocent and pure person. I would call him wholesome, I guess. He also likes legends and myths of Elias, like these legends talking about knights and heroes. It's like all the type of stuff he likes. And he kind of has an obsession with alpacas. He calls himself the alpaca hero. And again, remember that the alpaca, it's apparently a very common animal in Brodia. His name comes from the gemstone known as amber. This amber is just a fossilized tree resin. So it's very common to find it with inclusions like leaves or tree branches, sometimes insects or animal parts. And normally it's from an orange to brown color, or sometimes even darker. There's blue amber. Blue amber exists, but it's very, very rare, and most of it's just found in the Dominican Republic. Its original name, electron, comes from the ancient Greek word elector, which I hope I'm saying right. Like, listen, I don't speak ancient Greek, I'm so sorry. And this word means a beaming sun. According to a Greek myth, when the son of Elias died trying to drive his father's chariot, all his sisters were turned into trees to help them with their pain, and their tears later became amber. According to the most scale of hardness, amber is between a 2 and a 2.5, which means that it's very soft and easy to scratch. Like, you can probably scratch it with your fingernails. Fingernails are between a 2 and a 2.5 as well, I believe. So you need to be careful with when you're dealing with amber. Amber, it's used as a gemstone. Again, it's used on jewelry, but yeah, you need to be careful with it. Next on our list, we have Lapis. Lapis is a retainer to Alcryst, and according to the information that we have available, she is kind and she looks very fragile, but she actually is powerful. She also knows what type of grass is edible. Her name comes from the metamorphic rock known as Lapis lazuli. What's a metamorphic rock? It's basically a rock that used to be another type of rock. And in order to change this rock, it needs to be put into through really, really high temperatures, and I mean like 300 degrees Fahrenheit, or a lot of pressure. These can cause physical and or chemical changes, so that gives you the metamorphic rock. Lapis lazuli is considered to be a semi-precious stone, and it's a very deep and intense blue color. This stone is used in jewelry, and it's also used to create pigment. The name comes from the Latin word lapis, which just means stone, and a Persian word that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce is this one. Like, listen, I don't want to ruin this, I'm sorry. And this word means heaven or sky, so this rock is just a stone from heaven or stone of or from the sky. I just think it's very interesting how this specific rock, it's always blue. It's just blue, guys. This stone, lapis lazuli, is always blue, and then you see little lapis and she is completely pink. There's nothing blue on her. Next on our list we have a Jade. Jade is a retainer to Prince Diamant. It's kind of a quiet type of person. Like, people say that she doesn't talk a lot, and that's why they find her intimidating. But she's actually a very nice person, or that's what the information says. She is a writer, guys. She is a writer. She likes to write novels, and she asked Amber, about the stories he reads in order to find inspiration for her own stories. Her name comes from the mineral known as jade. Now, jade can be found in very different colors, but the most common it's the green one. That's believed like the one we all know. It's between a 6 and a 7, the most skill of hardest, which makes it a very resistant mineral. And it's been used throughout the centuries as ornaments and for rituals, especially in areas like East, South, and Southeast Asia, as well as the Olmec and Maya Asian cultures. Now, I tried to find more information about the name itself, but all I could find is that jade comes from the Spanish term of piedra hijada. That's all I could find. Like, that's literally all I could find. I'm sorry. And moving on to the last character. Now, please, before I say any about this, there's no information that confirms that this character is from Brodia other than the name. The name is the only thing I have that says she is from Brodia, and that character is Yunaka. There's also not a lot of information available about her. It just says that she is a mysterious woman that you found while traveling, and also says that she has this kind of bright type of personality that it's very easy to get along with her. Her name comes from the metamorphic rock known as Yunakite, and this rock was first discovered in the Yunaka range in North Carolina. It's also considered a semi-precious stone, but it has to go through a lot of polish to make it look nice, or to be able to use it in things like jewelry or for animal carving, which apparently it's very popular for that. Now, the name Yunaka comes from a Cherokee word that means white, and this is referring to the clouds and the fog that's always around like the highest part of this mountain range. And that's all for the characters of Brodia, guys. Again, I really like these characters. I like their designs. I like what I've seen so far. The names especially, it's just, I find it very interesting and very nice that they are named after precious stones. Now, this is not unique for the characters of Brodia. The characters of Fiorne are named after something as well in specific, and they all share that in common. The same for the characters of Solm and the characters of Elucia. So if you want to learn a little bit more about those other characters and their names, please leave a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Please follow me on all my social media. I'm always talking about Fire Emblem. I honestly talk a lot about video games in general, but Fire Emblem is what has my attention, especially now that we're waiting for Fire Emblem Engage. I also do streaming on Twitch if you want to follow me there. I've been streaming some Fire Emblem games, waiting for the release of the new Fire Emblem. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, guys, and see you on the next one. Bye!